Shalom, I'm Naama Rue. This is my husband, Rabbi David Rue, and we are talking about stories in the history of Jewish people that have some kind of connection to the content of the weekly Torah portion. So this week, do you have a story relating to parshah VaYeshev?
And if I say no, it says in the parshah, Al tishbechu dam, that you shouldn't spill the blood. When Yosef's brothers throw him are going to kill him, they have the idea of killing him. Yehuda says, no, we shouldn't kill him. Yehuda says, no, we shouldn't kill him. We should throw him in the pit. Al tishbechu dam, don't spill his blood. So Rabbi Yitzchak of Kalish, who was the brother-in-law of Reb Meir Premishlan, was very active in gathering tzedakah for the poor, giving away things. There's famous he never had anything in his house because he gave everything away. And once Paul knocks on the door, and he's hungry. And the only thing they have in the house at the moment is the challahs that the Rebbitzins baked for Shabbos. And Rabbi Yitzchak says to his wife, listen, it won't spill any blood if you cut one of the challahs and we don't have lechem mishnah, 2 full loaves of bread for one of the meals on Shabbos. So she cuts up the challah, she gives this Paul everything he needs to eat until he's full, and he goes away. Years later, Rabbi Yitzchak had to travel to Hungary through the Carpathian Mountains, and as he was traveling, he was set on by a group of bandits who took everything from him, and they took him to their leader to decide whether they should kill him or release him someplace in the mountains where his chance of dying on his own would be very high anyway, because he didn't know the ways, off the roads, and so on. And as soon as the leader of the bandits sees him, he says to let him go and return all his property, because many years ago, when he was hungry, this man had given him bread to eat. And after he finishes his business in Hungary and gets back to Poland, he tells us his wife, do you remember when we gave away the bread? And I said it wouldn't spill any blood to give away the bread. The blood that wasn't spilled was mine. In a similar vein, there was a Hasidic Rav, not a Rebbe, a Rav of a village in Poland before the Second World War. And every morning after Shacharis, he would take a stroll and he would greet everyone in their native language. There were Poles, there were, of course, Jews, and there were Volksdeutsch. Volksdeutsch literally means is people of Germany. But there were many people from Germany that settled in Poland, and this was one of the pieces of friction between Poland and Germany before the Second World War, how these the places where there were many of them, or how these people were treated, and so on. But every morning, as he walked by this farmer, the Hasidic Rav would go, "Good morning, Herr Muller." Good morning, Mr. Muller. And every morning, the farmer would respond, "Good morgen, Herr Rabbener." Good morning, Rabbi, Mr. Rabbi. Years later, when Germany conquers Poland and makes the Volksdeutsch German citizens, this particular farmer becomes a member of the SS, and over time, the rabbi is taken to Auschwitz, and as he's getting off the train going to the selection, for some reason he wants to see the face of the person that's going to condemn him to death. And he looks up and he sees the same farmer that he always knew. And instinctively, without thinking about it all, he says, "Good morgen, Herr Muller." And without flinching, the SS officer sends him to life and says, "Good morgen, Herr Rabbener." And afterwards, in New York, after the Holocaust, the Rav said, "You never know the power of a morning greeting."
That reminds me, so in the Parsha, they don't kill Yosef, and then the next few parshas, he saves their life. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom.